The Galactic Defense Academy's training grounds stretched across the barren moon of Tertius 9, a proving ground where the galaxy's finest warriors honed their skills. Kennedy stood among her squad of human recruits, watching as the Vrexian instructor, a towering, six-limbed creature named Karthos, configured the automated defense systems with his lower set of arms while gesturing dramatically with his upper pair. "This exercise," Karthos announced, his mandibles clicking with barely concealed satisfaction, "has broken 73% of all species who attempt it." The Kralathi warriors refused to participate. The Zinthari commandos require sedation afterward. He paused, his compound eyes gleaming with something that might have been concern or anticipation. "You humans requested live ammunition?" Josiah, standing beside Kennedy, shrugged casually. "Yeah, the simulation rounds weren't really doing it for us. Hard to take it seriously when there's no actual consequence." The instructor's translator struggled with the concept for a moment, producing a strangled, chirping sound. Around them, representatives from a dozen other species watched from the observation platforms, their various appendages twitching with what Kennedy had learned to recognize as universal skepticism. "Very well," Karthos said slowly. "The course is simple. Cross the kill zone, 200 meters, while automated turrets track and eliminate you. Your energy shields will absorb 3 hits before failure. On the 4th, he made a slicing gesture across his thorax. Training ends permanently." Kennedy stretched her arms overhead, feeling her spine pop satisfyingly. Beside her, another human recruit, Marcus, yawned widely, not bothering to cover his mouth. Then Jessica yawned. Then Josiah. Karthos's antennae quivered. "Why are you all yawning?" Kennedy blinked at him. "Oh, sorry. Yawning's contagious for us. One person does it, everybody does it. Reflex thing. You are bored." The instructor's voice rose an octave. "You face potential death and you are bored?" "Not bored exactly," Josiah explained, rolling his shoulders. "Just, getting ready. I didn't sleep great last night. Weird gravity on this moon throws off my circadian rhythm." The observation deck erupted in translating chatter. Kennedy caught fragments. "Insane, death wish, typical humans," before Karthos raised all 4 arms for silence. "Begin when ready," he said, backing away quickly. Kennedy nodded to her squad. "Standard formation? Josiah, you want point?" "Sure." He cracked his knuckles and stepped up to the line. On 3, the automated turrets hummed to life, their targeting sensors painting red dots across the kill zone. Sophisticated AI systems, designed by the galaxy's premier weapons manufacturers, calibrated firing solutions at speeds that would make quantum computers jealous. They could track objects moving at supersonic velocities, predict trajectories 6 moves ahead, and adjust for wind, gravity, and relativistic effects. They were not prepared for humans. Josiah moved. Kennedy had seen him in action before, but it never stopped being impressive. His body seemed to know where the shots would be before the turrets fired, twisting and ducking with an economy of motion that looked almost lazy. A plasma bolt seared past his ear. He'd already moved. 3 more rounds converged on his position. He wasn't there anymore. "Go!" Kennedy shouted, and the squad burst forward. The kill zone erupted in light and sound. Plasma screamed through the air, kinetic rounds cracked sonic booms, and energy beams carved glowing trenches in the ground. Kennedy's shield flared as a bolt clipped her shoulder, but she'd already adjusted her trajectory, her brain processing threat vectors faster than she could consciously think about them. This was what millions of years of being both predator and prey had engineered into humanity's DNA. Reflexes honed by countless generations of ancestors who dodged striking snakes, charging predators, thrown spears, and each other's fists. Neural pathways that could process visual information and translate it into movement in as little as 150 milliseconds, faster than conscious thought, faster than fear. Jessica tumbled into a roll, came up running, jinked left as a targeting laser swept across her previous position. Marcus vaulted over a burning crater, landed, and immediately juked right. The turrets recalculated, adjusted, fired, and hit empty air. Josiah was already halfway across, moving in a seemingly random pattern that was actually his brain's threat assessment system running on pure instinct. A bolt grazed his shield, his second hit. He didn't slow down. Kennedy felt the adrenaline now, that familiar cocktail of neurochemicals that sharpened everything into crystal clarity. Time seemed to slow. Not really. But her brain was processing information so quickly that the world appeared to move in slow motion. She saw the turret swivel, calculated its tracking speed, adjusted her path, and the shot that should have killed her missed by centimeters. Beside her, Marcus took his third hit. His shield flared and died. Kennedy grabbed his arm and yanked him into a sliding dive behind a concrete barrier. "Stay low, I've got you." "Appreciated." He grinned, breathing hard but eyes bright with exhilaration. Josiah crossed the finish line first, barely winded. His shield had taken 2 hits total. Jessica came in second, then Kennedy hauling Marcus, then the rest of the squad in a tight cluster, covering each other, moving like a single organism. The turrets powered down. Silence fell across the training ground. Kennedy looked up at the observation deck. Every alien species was standing, or whatever their equivalent was, staring down at the humans with expressions ranging from shock to horror to what might have been respect. Carthos descended from the instructor's platform, moving slowly as if in a daze. "That is impossible. The predictive algorithms alone should have, and your reaction times." He trailed off. Then his translator emitted a sound like a sigh. "The Krolothi's fastest time is 9 minutes. You finished in 97 seconds. Josiah shrugged. "It's really not that hard once you stop thinking about it. Just let your body do what it's built to do." "Stop thinking." Carthos's antennae drooped. "Your species dodges plasma fire by not thinking." "Pretty much," Kennedy confirmed, then yawned again. The adrenaline was wearing off, leaving her tired. Within seconds, the yawn rippled through the entire human squad. "There," Carthos pointed with 2 arms. "You do it again. Death-defying exercise complete, and you yawn." Kennedy smiled. "Sorry, instructor. Guess we're just wired different. Our bodies are really good at ramping up for danger and then ramping right back down. Helps us not burn out." The instructor stared at them for a long moment, then made a gesture Kennedy had learned meant something like resignation. "I am updating the training protocols. Humans will face increased difficulty." He paused. "Much increased." "Awesome," Marcus said cheerfully. "The live rounds thing really helps with motivation." As they walked off the field, Kennedy heard the observation deck erupt in debate. The galaxy was learning what Earth's predators and prey had learned millions of years ago. Humans were terrifyingly hard to hit, and even more terrifyingly casual about it. Josiah bumped her shoulder. "Cafeteria? I'm starving." "Always are after drills," Kennedy laughed. "Yeah, let's go." Behind them, Carthos was already recalibrating the turrets, muttering about impossible primates and evolutionary nightmares. The galaxy's finest training program had just met humanity's greatest weapon. Millions of years of dodging things that wanted to kill them, and the biological gift of not dwelling on it afterward. Just another day at the academy.